Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you all are doing well. In this particular video, we are going to talk about depreciation. So, we'll talk about the basic meaning of depreciation. We'll talk about the types of methods which are generally used for depreciation measurement and factors and needs of depreciation in accountancy. Okay, guys, like whenever we talk about the depreciation, it is when the monetary value of any assets decrease due to uses or due to wear and tear causes. So that particular thing is generally known as a depreciation. You can say, let's say you buy a laptop at 50,000. So after 1 year, the value of that particular laptop remain of 40,000. Okay, so the value or the monetary value of that particular asset decreased by 10,000. So that amount is generally known as depreciation. Okay, so when the monetary value of an asset decreases over the time due to uses or due to wear and tear causes and other reasons, so that particular thing is generally known as depreciation. So this decrease is known as depreciation. As I gave you an example of laptops, or like let's say you buy a car rupees 10 lakh. After 3 years, the value of that car remains 6 lakh. So this particular thing, or this particular concept, or the decrease in the monetary value of that particular car is generally known as depreciation. So in accounting, like whenever you do or whenever you prepare the accounts, so you have to take care of that particular value as well. And depreciation, you have to charge that particular one in your P&L account. Okay, so you have to you have to debit that particular amount from your profit and loss account. So if you talk about the depreciation, it is generally we can say it is generally part of operating cost of any company, and it is gradual in nature. Okay, so every year, let's say if you are using straight line method to calculate the depreciation, so every year you have to decrease that particular value. Okay, so we have an importance of depreciation, if you adjust that particular value in your PLN account, so you'll have the correct profits, or you can check the correct financial position, or even let's say after some time, so you have to replace that particular asset, so you'll have that particular you'll have a proper provision for that particular account as well. Okay, so in this entire video, we are generally going to talk about the depreciation and the major method which are generally used for the depreciation calculation. Okay, so the depreciation is charged to profit and loss account. Please do remember this one. Like when you'll do the accountancy, so let's say there is an asset whose value is depreciated by 10,000 rupees. Okay, so this 10,000 rupees will be debited from your P&L account for the value of asset during the particular financial year. So this is again very important point when you do the posting. So you have to remember this one. So depreciation is part of operating cost. So that annual operating cost, it is a reduction in the value of asset. You purchase an asset worth rupees 10 lakh. After 1 year, it remain at 9 lakh. So that reduction in value is generally your depreciation. The decrease in value of an asset, it can be due to uses or due to any wear and tear causes and other reasons. Okay, so the decrease in value of an asset is gradual and continuous. Let's say if you are continuously using that particular assets, or even the monetary value of that particular asset is definitely going to decrease year by year. Okay, so that's why, like, I hope you guys know, during the month of March, the value of X asset that generally decrease because that product will become 1 year older. Okay, so that depreciation cycle that will start calculating from that particular asset as well. Okay, so depreciation, I hope the concept or the basic things about depreciation is clear. Now we'll talk about the what is the actual need of depreciation. Okay, so like if you talk about the depreciation, if like let's say if you buy an asset worth rupees 10 lakh rupees, and if you keep that particular asset at 10 lakh rupees for 1 year, 10 years, 15 years, but the actual value is decreasing year by year because you are using that particular asset. Okay, so there will be some like we can say there will be some problem with that kind of accounts. So you have, like, if you are using that particular asset, that should be part of your operating cost, so you have to manage that particular one as well. So if you talk about the needs, so we have with this you will know the correct profit. Like let's say you buy a car for the tour and travels purpose. The car worth you around 15 lakh rupees, and after 1 year the car value is 13 lakh rupees, so it, which means it depreciate by 2 lakh rupees during the financial year. The overall revenue generated by that particular asset was 3 lakh rupees. So the actual revenue or the actual profit was 2 lakh, 1 lakh only, because the value of that particular machine is also depreciated, or the monetary value of that particular asset also decreases. Okay, to show correct financial position of a company, so like in companies we have number of fixed assets, so the value of these particular asset that generally that gradually decreases. So if you'll have a proper calculation for that one, so you'll know the exact financial position of that particular asset as well, or that particular company. Then replacement of asset. Okay, so every asset have a life. Okay, let's say if you buy a car, so let's say the value of that particular car, the age of that particular machine is 10 year. So after 10 year you need a proper replacement for that one. Okay, so you have to create some provisions or provision accounts for that one. Okay, let's say the value of that asset is decreasing by 1 lakh rupees per annum, so you have to make a provision of 1 lakh. So after 10 year you can buy a new car or a new asset. Okay, so for the replacement purpose again, this the we need to identify the depreciated value in various assets of a company. Okay, so hope this is also clear. Now, factors of depreciation, like when you calculate depreciation for any asset, so you need few things. Like let's say we buy a XYZ machine at 10 lakh rupees. Okay, so we need a cost of this particular one, buying cost, purchase cost. Okay, 10 lakh rupees. We need the life of that particular asset. Okay, let's say the life of this particular XYZ machinery is 10 years, so we need this one. And again, apart from this, we need a scrap value of this particular asset after 10 year. After 10 year, what will be the scrap value of this particular machinery? Let's say it is 2 lakh rupees. So whenever you will calculate your depreciation, so 10 lakh minus 2 lakh, so you will calculate your depreciation on 8 lakh rupees only, because you will get this particular money at the end of the 10 year after reselling that particular asset, or the scrap value of that particular asset. Okay, so when you calculate the depreciation, there are some factors which are very important. So the cost of an asset, the purchase cost of that particular machinery, estimated residual value or scrap value at the end of the life, whatever the life. Like for every assets, we have a life. Okay, it can be 5 year, 10 year, 15 year, 30 year. Okay, so when we do accounting, we have a certain, or we have fixed we, like as per the accountancy procedure, we will use that particular asset for a fixed time duration. Okay, the estimated number of year of the useful life. So scrap value, like after that time duration of 10 year or 15 years, when you will resell that particular machine, so what value you will get. Okay, so that is scrap value, or years, basically how long you are going to use that particular machinery. So when you do the calculation, or like when you'll use the different method of depreciation calculations, so you need to understand, or you need these three factors. These are mandatory factors. Okay, with the help of that particular one you can calculate the depreciation. Okay, so please do remember these particular things. I know these are very basic things, but for your calculation purpose, or for your like when you apply any method, so you need these particular factors. Okay, now accounting entries. So as I earlier told you, like depreciation is generally managed through your P&L account. Okay, profit and loss account. So let's say the overall depreciation of any company is 1 lakh rupees for different assets. So this 1 lakh rupees will be debited from your P&L account, and it will credited to your provisional account. Okay, so you have to create a provisional account, so where you have to credit that particular one, because after certain time duration you have to replace that particular asset. Okay, so you have a machinery, you have an asset in your organization which is depreciated by 1 lakh rupees. So after, or the age of this machinery is suppose that 10 year. So after 10 year you need or the scrap value is zero, suppose that. Okay, the scrap value is zero. So after 10 year you have to repurchase that particular asset. So the P&L account will be debited, and your provision accounts or provisional account will be credited in that particular case. Okay, so I'll show you some examples as well which will give you more clarity. So depreciation account debited to 2000, and asset account is 2000. Now with this one, okay, so here like depreciation account is debited by 2000, which means your P&L account will be depreciated by $2000, and your provisional accounts will be credited by $2000. Okay, so I hope, yes, so we have this explanation as well, so you can quickly go through this and you'll get a clarity about this. Okay, so yes, so depreciation account is sorry, your profit and loss account will be debited by 2000 rupees, $2000, and your provision for the depreciation will be credited by 2000, because at like if you'll create the provision, so at the end of the 10 years you'll have that much of amount, so you can buy a new asset or you can replace that particular asset with the new one. Okay, so every time whenever we do the entries or accounting entries for the depreciation, so we have number of examples like December 31st 2016 depreciation debited by 2000, so we have a provision of 2000. So here like every year they are generally using straight line method. Straight line method is like in this example they generally use the straight line method. The depreciation value is remain same for the over the period. Okay, so let's say you buy a machinery of 10 lakh rupees and the scrap value is zero. Okay, in that particular case, and the life of that particular machinery is 10 years. Okay, so 10 lakh divided by 10, so it is 1 lakh. So every year you will depreciate that particular machinery by 1 lakh rupees. Here you can see 2000, 2000 and 2000. Okay, so that is straight line method, and they like you can see the credit debit entries. So debit amount is you have to debit your profit and loss account, and you have to create a provisional account. So you have to credit that particular money to the your provision for depreciation. Okay, hope this is clear to all of you. And like this is a basic understanding. If you'll understand this one, so it will make your journey easy toward the depreciation calculation. We will discuss depreciation with number of examples, or we'll use the different methods. So do not worry about that particular part. Just clear your fundamentals about the depreciation. Okay, so now what is depreciable assets? So we have number of assets, like maximum asset which are generally depreciable. Like let's say you own a mobile phone. Okay, so the value of that particular mobile phone will depreciate or decrease because you are using that particular one, or even there are some advancement in the technology as well. Okay, so you, let's say you own a car, so like every day you are using that particular one, so there are some wear and tear causes or that uses that generally decrease the value of that particular asset. Okay, so these are generally depreciable asset. Like you can see vehicle, real estate means property. Okay, not land, do remember this one. Okay, so property, not land. So land is a appreciable asset. Okay, so computers, office equipment, machinery, heavy equipment, so these are generally part of your depreciable assets. Non-depreciable asset, so I clearly mentioned here as well. So land is a non-depreciable fixed assets. Okay, so do remember this. Like when you do the accounting, so let's say the prices of land is 50 lakh rupees. So when you'll do carry forward this balance, or when you'll do the depreciation calculation, so it will remain 50 lakh. You cannot depreciate land, okay? So you cannot depreciate property for personal uses and asset held for the investment as well. So do remember these political thumb rules, so which is definitely going to help you for your upcoming understanding. Okay, chalo. Now finally we came to methods of depreciation. So if you talk about the methods, we have number of methods. You will find 7-8 method minimum everywhere. Okay, but there are few methods which are very popular, and even if you like being accountant, or like if you study the accountant in any country, so they generally use these particular method, like straight line method, we have sum of years method, we have unit of production method, or we have double declining method. Okay, so now in our next video we will discuss the methods of depreciation. Like we'll come one by one, like straight line method. What is a straight line method, as I gave you an example as well. So we will discuss the straight line method, then we'll do some practice as well. I'll come with some practice questions, so where you can easily understand that particular method. Okay, so our next video will be based on depreciation method, and we will discuss all the type of depreciation methods which are generally used for the used by the CAs or other firms for the depreciation calculation. Okay, so guys, in this particular video we generally talk about the basics of depreciation. Like if you are planning to study depreciation, so you need to know about these particular thing. What are the factors which are generally used for the depreciation calculation? What is the need of depreciation? Okay, what is the basic meaning of depreciation, or even the other methods and all. Okay, so in our next video we will discuss we will generally talk about the we'll discuss we'll do the detailed analysis of types of methods. So do watch that particular one, that is definitely going to help you. Or even in your examiner they generally ask question based on the this particular session, as well as like most of time they'll give you some cases, so you have to calculate the depreciation from those particular one. Okay, so hope you enjoy the video. If you like, please do share with your friends, and do like this session. Thank you for watching this video. Bye bye, take care.